Just eat it. Just eat it. Just eat it. Oh!
You're now tuned into Klive's Kitchen, Kookin With Kraven, hosted by me, Klive Kraven. Stay tuned for a dope recipe that'll fill your fat gut to the next level and beyond. Nothing but the illest meals, only on Klive's Kitchen.
You won't get no dessert till you clean off your plate, so eat it. Don't you tell me you're full, just eat it. Eat it. Get yourself an egg and eat it.
Welcome to the first edition of Klive's Kitchen. You're cooking with Kraven. This is the first installment. Today we're going to get into a little bit of beef stroganoff, one of my favorite pasta dishes. This shit is on point. Stick around. Alright, so first things first, we're going to do all the prep work first. We're going to start off with the 3 mushrooms right here. So, we're going to take these 3 mushrooms, we're going to chop them up. They're nice and thin sliced. They've already been thoroughly rinsed and washed. We're going to get all these chopped up. And you can chop them down again once you get them thinly sliced. You're going to want to break them down again. Just break that all up. You want to take these, chop everything in half. You don't want big, huge chunks of mushroom in there, unless you like that. If you like the shit chunky, leave it chopped, leave it unchopped, and it'll make it a little thicker. But me personally, I like that shit a little bit more bite size. So I'm going to chop all that down. There we go. That's your mushroom chopped down. Okay, so we're going to keep it moving. Right now, I'm going to chop up the onion and get that going. So, same deal with the mushroom. Chop it down one way. Ooh, almost got me. We'll flip it around. Almost like a onion blossom, the way we're gonna cut this. And if you want, probably better if I flip this over on the side. Might be a little hard to keep together, but you can always go down like that. Got a fucking onion explosion. There we go. Pull out that yellow piece that's from the bottom. You don't want to eat that, that's the core. Break all the onion up. Break all the pieces down. Layers. There you go. There's your onion. And move on to the next thing. Alright, next we're gonna add in some fresh parsley. This isn't none of that dried up bullshit. Real fresh. So pull off a few. Up a little bit. Nice and separated. Just chop the tops. stalks. We're gonna get rid of those. So put those to the side. Take your parsley here. Just chop your parsley up. Spin it, chop it again. Real hard to chop this shit with this knife. But it works. So, there you go. Fresh chopped parsley. Okay, next, we're gonna add some lemon. Now, they say add lemon juice. I prefer to use fresh lemon juice. Don't use the bottled shit. Use this if you want the best taste. So we're gonna go ahead, squeeze the lemon. There we go. Get a few drops. Don't worry about seeds getting in there. You can pull them seeds out right after. Use a fork to get the seeds out. There we go. There you have it. Fresh lemon. Gonna keep it moving into the next thing. Alright, we're gonna get into the last thing that we're gonna prepare. That's this top sirloin steak. This right here is the best meat to use for this. So we're gonna get into this right now. First thing you're gonna want to do, pull this plastic shit off. Beautiful cut of meat. As you see, this shit is gorgeous. Toss it to the side. Now, take the meat, pull the meat on out. Now, it's up to you if you want to have the flavor or not, but me personally, I like to cut a lot of the fat off. So this big chunk of fat on the back, going. All of it. Cut all this fucking fat off. Like I said, you can leave it in for flavor if you really want, but personally, I like to cut all the fat out except for the marble fat. Marble fat's the fat that you get in between the meat. Leave that in, obviously. That's your flavor right there. Final last couple pieces right here. Pull that fat off. A lot of that fat will just pull straight off the meat, but if it doesn't, you can always just knife it off. There we go. So now we got all the meat chopped up, defatted. This shit is gonna be on point. Stick around, we're gonna keep it moving. All right, now we're ready to actually start cooking. We've got a pot of water, we've got our egg noodles ready, got a big skillet, got the meat chopped up. We're gonna get both of them going. So first things first, we're gonna turn our water on high. We're gonna turn the pan on medium. Yeah, put it on like 6. First thing we're gonna do, I already pre-measured out a little bit of butter. We're gonna start off with just a tablespoon of butter in here. Real simple. Get yourself a spatula. This butter cook down a little bit. Let it just melt. Smear that all over. Get a nice stick-free surface going there. There we go. Now that we got the surface all good, butter's in there, we want to start adding the meat. We already got all the meat chopped up. Lost a little bit of beef on the way, it's all good. Pop it right back in. Keep that heat going. Now we're gonna add in a little bit of salt. Don't want to go crazy. Just a little bit on the bottom. Salt, butter, and meat. Real fucking simple right here. We're just gonna cook this long enough to brown it. Okay, so here we are. We got our meat browned almost all the way. Getting ready to take this off the skillet. We're gonna put this into a bowl we got set aside. You can see all the meat completely browned on the outside. It might be a little bit pink on the inside. That's okay though. It's okay to have a little bit pink, a little bit medium rare, depending on how you like it cooked. We're gonna let this brown another 30 seconds to another minute. I'm gonna take it off, put the meat in the bowl over there, and then we're gonna add some onions and butter in the skillet. Get that going. As you see, the water's boiling at this point. We're gonna add our egg noodles as well. Get those noodles cooking. Alright, we're gonna take our meat, take it to the side. This bowl over here. There you go. Fan-fucking-tastic. Alright, keep the flame on. Add 1 pound egg noodles. Toss a little bit of pre-measured butter in here. Get that going. And the onions we chopped up earlier. Those going. Stir your noodles up. Egg noodles do not take long to cook, so keep that in mind. They're a lot faster to cook than regular pasta noodles. That's one nice thing about egg noodles. Just keep an eye on them. You're gonna want to sear these onions, let them brown with the butter a little bit. Let them get some of that steak flavor in them. Don't want to cook these too much. Just enough to brown them a little bit, sear in some of the flavors. I like to keep them moving. Don't want anything to get cooked unevenly. Don't forget about the noodles. You don't want to burn anything, fuck anything up. Turn the noodles down a little bit. You don't want the water level to rise too high. These onions are just about good to go. Like I said, you don't want to get them too overcooked. So what we're going to do is we're going to take the onion, we're going to add it to the meat over here. Bowl. We'll come back to all this in a little bit. Great. And now, we're going to go ahead, we're going to do the mushrooms. A little bit more butter. I'm going to get a butter knife. Take another teaspoon of salt butter. Oh, didn't want to come off. It's still fucking cold. There we go. Put a little bit of butter in there. Let that kind of melt in. Rehydrate the pan a little bit. Throw your little shroomers in. Same thing with these, you did with the onions. You don't want to overcook them, you just want to brown them up a little bit. Let them sear in some flavor. Mushrooms really give a good flavor to this dish though. Keep the noodles moving. Probably getting close to done here. I'm going to test them here in a minute after I pull these mushrooms off. See how much longer they got to go. Mushrooms are just about done. So the noodles again. Pull these mushrooms off now. Do the same thing. I'm going to add these to the bowl. Separate bowl. So we get another bowl for these. Put these aside. Go. Okay, so now we're gonna go ahead and we got our fresh clean skillet. We're gonna add the next thing. We're gonna add some water, sour cream, paprika. Put the water in first. Get your paprika in there. Turn the heat on low. You're gonna wanna spoon all the sour cream out. Noodles moving. Still not quite done. Very close though. Mix up this. You do not want this to boil or overcook the sour cream. Enough to give it some heat. Now, once you get it broken down, all mixed in pretty good, you can add in your lemon juice. A little bit of salt. Just gonna keep it limited on the salt, just to shake it too. Lemon juice added in there. Stir that on in. Now I'm gonna add a meat, an onion, and a mushroom bag. Stir all that in. There we go. Starting to come together now. I'm gonna add a little bit of fresh ground pepper. As much as you want to taste. Add enough parsley. moving, keep it on low heat. Let it all kind of marinate and cook together for a minute or two. These noodles are about done. So we're going to take the heat off the noodles. Excellent. We're going to take the noodles. We're going to strain the noodles. Strain these real good. A little tip with these, to get all the starch out, you just saw some real hot water going. Make sure that shit is boiling hot. Douse the noodles, and that's all the starch is out. Makes this shit taste way better. Makes it so it doesn't stick either. Once you do that, squish them around a little bit more. Let all that water strain out. Now we're going to take our noodles, we're going to mix it in together. So it's all just one big pot, one meal together. Lets the noodles cook in. There we go. Okay. So now, we've got the entire meal, all in one skillet, all the ingredients combined. Just gonna want to mix everything in real good. Let it all cook in. Especially now that you got all the ingredients together, you want all that sauce to soak into the noodles. Cook into that shit and fuse. So we're gonna let this cook for another minute or so. Just a little bit longer. Look at that. Fucking smells fantastic. I'm gonna top it off with just a little bit more cracked pepper. Mix that in there. Look at that. Well, we'll be back in just a second. My final verdict. Gonna do a taste test on this. See how it is. Smells fantastic. Looks fantastic. So, I'll be back in a minute with the verdict. Stay tuned. Okay, so we got it all done. Meal's put together. I'll have to give it a taste test. See what this tastes like. Pretty fucking good. This is on point. This has been the first episode of Klive's Kitchen. You've been cooking with Kraven. Make sure to tune in next week where we'll be cooking whatever the fuck you vote on. Peace.
Just eat it. Just eat it. Just eat it. Oh! eat it. Don't you tell me you're full, just eat it. Eat it. Get yourself an egg and eat it.